In fact, this applies to any movie I speak ill of in this video. Cause the last thing I want is for people to parrot my opinions mindlessly without forming their own.
Oh, sick. Well, I guess I could start by talking about...
I'll go ahead and promote it on my channel's community tab.
So I watched a video by a dude I'm subscribed to named Shafrilla's Productions. It was a ranking video of every Disney animated movie released widely in theaters. He put Aladdin at number 16. Fair, I'll give him that. What's the reasoning? Twisted is better. I've never seen Twisted. Twisted is a musical adaptation of Aladdin told from Jafar's point of view and making him a hero and Aladdin a sleazeball. I haven't seen Twisted. I haven't seen the terrible sequel that stars Dan Castellaneta, voice of Homer Simpson, instead of Robin Williams. Fun fact, that's true for Kingdom Hearts as well. Dan Castellaneta, voice of Homer Simpson, voices him in Kingdom Hearts. Does this mean Homer Simpson will be in Kingdom Hearts 4? I know the entire 2-hour show is free on YouTube and I could watch it at any point. I just haven't. But anyway, he said if you want to get more in-depth with his reasoning for Aladdin being number 16, go and check out his Renaissance ranking video. So I did. Let's get that without a voice crack. So I did. He said a few interesting things. So I want to go through some of his biggest points against Aladdin, and not tell him why he's wrong, but tell him how I interpreted it. With that, let's get started. To quote Shafrilla's, he says that the Chosen One narrative is contrived. He asks, what makes Aladdin the diamond in the rough? Why isn't it just some other guy? And there are two scenes in particular in this movie that I want to point to that emphasize why Aladdin is specifically the diamond in the rough. One, probably the most forgettable scene in the movie, near the beginning-ish, there's a rich guy going in to court to Jasmine or something, and he's about to hit some kids with his horse, and Aladdin stops him, and the rich guy, despite the fact that the kid just wanted like an apple or something, he boots Aladdin to the ground, and he makes fun of him publicly. That there proves that the higher-ups in Aladdin's world don't care about the common folk and wouldn't help anyone. Man, that just feels like now. Oh man, I depressed myself thinking about that. Anyway, the second scene that I want to point out is when Jasmine and Aladdin are in the marketplace and Jasmine gives a little kid who is starving an apple, and the guy who owns the marketplace tries to cut off her hand as payment, which proves that while the higher-ups don't have any sort of kindness, the people down below don't really care either. They do anything for some cash. And now that I've talked about those two scenes, you might just ask, well, what makes Aladdin different? One thing, and that's the song what's it called? One Jump Ahead. Okay, thank you, Shafe. The song One Jump Ahead, it's not anything lyrically impressive. As Shafe points out, it's a bop, but the reason it's important is because it lasts for like 4 minutes. And it's just Aladdin doing anything in his power to get this one piece of bread. And then the second the song ends and he sees hungry children, he shares his bread right then and there because he knows what's right. He proves right then how he is the diamond in the rough and not just some other commoner who would do anything for money. He even manages to convince Abu to share. Now I know it's a cartoon, but have you ever convinced a monkey to share food? And the other songs are super important too. Obviously, Shafrilla's talked a lot more about A Whole New World and how that's one of the best songs in Disney. But like, Prince Ali? Sure, I like it a lot, but it's also important because it helps inflate Aladdin's ego, making him just another prince that Jasmine rejects immediately. It's important to the story and narrative until A Whole New World convinces Jasmine that he's the guy from before. Shafrilla's said Jafar was not a special villain until the very end. Excuse me? Literally, like the first minute he shows up, he kills some guy just for the fun of it. While yes, not as great as the final part, he still does important things. He obviously has the mind control staff that I wish he used more, because it's just such a fun tool. He's quiet, he's cunning, and he's obviously a snake. As in, he makes the king do what he wants, but also as in the climax where he becomes a giant snake. That's another important thing I want to talk about. Jafar wins for a little bit. He gets what he wants. The genie serves him, Jasmine's at his right hand, and Aladdin's been booted off to a faraway land. Jafar won. And then he got cocky, thinking Aladdin could never get back, which, fair, how would he get back? He slips up right at the end, since he had a coup d'etat. And then Aladdin seizes that opportunity in an epic climax and wins through his wit and intellect. Now that I've talked quite a bit about Shafrilla's ranking of the Renaissance movies, I want to go back to his most recent video about ranking all the Disney films, and go over some of the new points it brings up in that, one of which being, he doesn't think the genie is funny due to too many pop culture references that are simply too dated. And I have the best evidence as to why that's false. I am so clueless and dumb and uncultured that I don't get the pop culture references, but I do still find the genie funny. Here, case in point, there's one that I do get, and that's obviously Rodney Dangerfield. I got that now because I understand him. You know who doesn't know about Rodney Dangerfield? 7-year-old me who watched Aladdin. I didn't get it. It was just a funny face and a funny voice saying something funny. And as stated earlier, there's way more pop culture references. I don't get it, but he does get bonus points for Iago recognition. Iago's great. He then brings up that the Cave of Wonders CGI has gotten really dated over time. Yeah, I can't defend it. That was clearly made for the trailers. Whoa, he's going in this epic CGI cave. Go check out Disney's Aladdin. Can't defend it, not that great. But I will point out that it was short. He still says Robin Williams is a great actor and A Whole New World brings it up a few places just because of how good the song alone is. Yeah. Do you really expect me to say something unique about that? I could be controversial and say A Whole New World is just okay, but I'm not gonna do that. To finish up, number 16 out of 64 widely released animated movies is no small feat, and it's really respectable. But I feel like due to the points that I've pointed out, the movie could have gone a little higher, like maybe 1. Sorry, Fantasia, as much as I love you, I love Aladdin a little more. And, Shafrillas, if you're watching this right now, read the description for something schmaltzy. And in the meantime, please watch the Professor Layton and the Eternal Diva movie. It's free on YouTube in an English dub. It's about a British gentleman in 1960s London solving mysteries and puzzles. It's really good, and I know you just watched a bunch of anime, but it's like really good. The opening alone is better than some other movies. And while we're here, can you play the video game Pizza Tower? It's gonna be sick when it comes out January 26th. I'm already more hyped for it than I am for my birthday. Combine Wario, Sonic, and Ren and Stimpy in the best ways possible. It's gonna be an amazing indie game. I swear, if you don't play it, I'm going to be very sad. And yeah. And while we're here, can we talk about Diddy Kong? I feel like you placed him in C tier just because you have a bias against funny monkeys, and that was just not cool.